Murray PHN welcomes you to this video. The aim of the presentation is to support you to complete your work plan and budget. When completing this work plan, consider that anyone who picks it up should be able to understand what you are doing, why you are doing it, who is involved, and how it will be done. Let's get started. You'll notice that the work plan is divided into sections. Section 1 through 4 consists of your organisational details, other interested parties, roles and qualifications, and co-contributors. Note the roles and qualifications section relates to all team members directly involved within the project. This is where you outline who will be involved and their full-time equivalent as it relates to the project. Other interested parties may be parties involved within referral pathways or directly involved within the project parameters. Part 5 is the integration and coordination plan. Here, using section 2 of the schedule as a guide, include the project details and how all services will work together to improve health, equity, and outcomes. Include referral pathways and how your practice will facilitate integration and with what parties. For example, work group creation, clinical reference group, consultations, advisory committees, etc. Please feel free to use the flowchart description if you so choose. Clinical governance and risk management is a set of relationships and responsibilities established by a health service organisation to ensure good clinical outcomes. Murray PHN expects all commissioned service providers to have a clinical governance framework in place. Service providers are also required to uphold and maintain up-to-date clinical and practice policies, aligned with the ACSQHC National Standards 2017 and your organisation's quality standards. Please include all information, associated links, and copies of relevant standards in this section. This section needs to clearly address how you intend to meet your clinical governance. Ensure you include a link or attach a copy of your organisation's clinical governance framework and how it will be applied within your practice. Detail your quality assurance framework, including how this will be applied and who will be responsible. In the credentialing section, explain your current monitoring processes. List responsible parties and the ongoing implementation. Reference clinical supervision as it relates to the specific project or commissioned services. For example, if clinical personnel are required, detail your current clinical supervision model, how this will be undertaken and applied for the project, and detail the frequency and objectives within the project timeframes. Please attach all health and safety procedures, inclusive of, but not limited to, cultural safety and any specific considerations for the project. To understand the effectiveness of the service delivery, clients must have an opportunity to provide feedback about the funded services they received. Detail your current client feedback process, review procedures, and detail how you address feedback and communicate changes. Tip: include any PHN or external evaluation surveys related to the project or commission service in this section. Provide your current workforce feedback procedure, including feedback and complaints procedures, policies or protocols for feedback review, and any other associated policies. For example, a whistleblower policy. The same tip applies. Also include any PHN surveys the project or commission service will be using. Detail all relevant record keeping requirements, including state and governing body requirements, policies regarding confidentiality and privacy, and security protocols to keep information safe, like multi-factor authentication, password protected documents, secure encrypted transfer, referral software, etc. include how long they should be stored for, and attach or link all appropriate practice policies and procedures. In the Key Risks and Mitigation Strategies section, include a risk matrix, inclusive of the likelihood or possibility of the risk. For example, low, medium, or high, and mitigation strategies that will be implemented if the risk comes to fruition. The activity plan is where you step out your plan for service delivery. The establishment and implementation section should provide a clear overview of the activities required for program implementation that can be understood by anyone. It should ideally be a timeline of when things will be done, noting any considerations like management processes or project prioritizations and their associated rationale. It is important to note, however, that if the program your work plan relates to is already established, you do not need to complete this section. Model of care is the description of what will be taking place. The delivery of sustainable rural primary care services relies on the recruitment and retention of a stable workforce that is consistent, skilled, knowledgeable, genuine, and culturally safe. The staffing section is where you can detail the roles of all staff named in your roles and responsibilities section and how they will be supervised, to list any additional training, and if required, detail the plan for backfill. If recruiting, explain the associated recruitment and induction process. Murray PHN expects that the service provider workforce will undertake annual and other ongoing professional development according to their registration and discipline-specific requirements. Cultural responsiveness is an essential aspect, taking into account cultural safety and humility. This section is your opportunity to detail what your practice does to ensure it is a welcoming and safe environment. Ongoing review and development is where you can detail the strategies you will be implementing to review and evaluate the work that is being undertaken, and to further explain how these learnings will be utilised within the context of your practice. The community requirements section is your opportunity to clearly outline your community's needs or situation and demonstrate how this project will impact. Please include data and scoping when detailing this area. The reporting section is where you can detail all reporting requirements, who will conduct these requirements, and how they will do this. This area also enables you to identify any considerations within the reporting criteria, or to note any extra assistance that may be required from external parties or the PHN to meet these requirements. The last section of the work plan is the budget template. When submitting a standard budget with your work plan submission, always use the provided Murray PHN budget template. Your budget should not exceed the grant or funding amount. If you submit a budget above the funding awarded, please note that no additional funding will be provided. If your situation is not standard or your budget requirements differ, please contact your Murray PHN team member directly to discuss. Thank you for watching this presentation. If you have any questions or would like further assistance, please reach out to your Murray PHN team member.